Today's episode of the Game Over Greggy Show is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Make the smarter choice and shave with these guys, not your shoe. They let me write this ad once again. Get a great shave at a great price, conveniently delivered right to your door. Doctors call it a life hack and a no-brainer because you get to sit there watching Kinda Funny and some poor schmuck has to bring all your face stuff to your house. World-renowned Playboy Tim Gettys uses the DSC Executive Razor with their Dr. Carver shave butter, and the love of his life, Gia, can't stop saying, "Dang, Tim, that DSC Executive Razor and Dr. Carver's shave butter sure take better care of your face than a shoe." For a limited time, new members get their first month of the Executive Razor with a tube of their Dr. Carver's shave butter for only $5 with free shipping. After that, razors are just a few bucks a month. Dang, that's a $15 value for only $5 in your first month box. You get an awesome weighty handle, a full set of cartridges, and a tube of that shave butter I have to keep talking about. You can only get this offer exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. Make the smarter choice for Gia. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Just two ships top of the morning to you.
Yeah, man. It's all the same boat and plane of existence.
Even leveling soccer field.
I'm very happy you're in this shirt.
Yeah, thanks.
You haven't broken this shirt out in a long time. If you're a listener of the audio version, it is that off green shirt he wears sometimes. Yeah. It's the collared shirt. I want to say this was in the Super Bowl commercial.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
With Veronica.
Veronica. Yeah.
It was great.
Why is it? What's the occasion to break it out today?
Wanted to wear a button down. I feel like I've worn nothing but our shirts for the last 84 months straight.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna wear a button down today, and the other one, my other one is dirty. So
okay,
it's this one.
And the canary one's gone, right?
Canary one, yeah, and unfortunately went the way of the dodo.
D said enough of that.
Yeah, she was done. She saw it in one social media post. She's like, "You're never wearing that shirt again," and just jacked it.
Does she just get rid of it? Like, how does that work?
We don't
Does
know.
she tell you?
She makes Nick get rid of it. Like
she does one of those.
She wants him to know how he fucked up.
Basically,
like, never
rubs his face in it.
Yeah,
it's very draconian. It's basically pick two shirts. Like she'll pick two shirts. She's like, you have to throw one of these out. And I don't have a choice. I can't leave the room. And I mean, some would call that kidnapping, but not when you're married. It's just called married life. That's where it's at. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think this one just disappeared. This one went the other way, where she's just like, he'll never know. Took it and jagged it. Because remember, I had all of them. I had a blue one that was exactly the same. That was an ugly ass blue color, and she just took them both, and they were gone. They were gone. That's it.
Over there. The pure one, Tim Gettys.
Shirt Mafia.
Let Tim host.
You have a nice shirt too.
I do.
Now this is the Marty Sleva collection.
This is the Marty Sleva collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wearing this because Nick's being all humble and shit, but tonight we're going to go see him do stand-up at a laundromat.
Yes.
That's why I'm wearing my best Weezer shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're doing that. I'm very excited. And then tomorrow we're going to be shooting another Game Over Greggy show that you can watch live if you're a Patreon supporter.
That's going to be fun.
We'll go up the following week, and the topic's going to be your
my
comedy.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yes, so I'm featuring a showcase tonight. And then tomorrow, Tim was like, I really want to hear all about these weird misadventures of yours at these random open mic comedy nights. And I'm like, sure, I'll talk to you guys through it. And then I know Lex is into it, but unfortunately, you're not coming tonight because you have hashtag better things to do.
Yeah, I'm going to see Minions with my godson.
Well, that's,
all right, well, maybe you don't have better things to do. And our guest, the one and only, let's get Lexi, Alexis Pence.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Have you gotten used to the name yet?
I haven't. Not yet. No.
Is it like your birthday or like when the year changes and it's New Year's and you're like, I just don't, is it 2016 still?
Yeah, totally. It's exactly like that.
Do you think, how long until you're like, all right, this sounds right?
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's never going to sound right to me.
No.
Because Zombolitis just has such a fun, like...
You had Kazambalitis for like 16 and a half years, so probably about equal time until you're ready for this.
Yeah. Good point.
16 and a half years, yep.
Yeah.
100 Pence is a pedophile.
Well, we're just...
Oh my God.
What? No, in the context of the world, the joke world I just built. In the joke world I just
You're
built.
gonna hear first, right out of Greg Miller's mouth.
ESPN, get on it.
Let's
breaking news.
Let's rewind that and be sweet. It's because you don't look a day over 17. That's what he meant to say.
Go away.
That's what he meant to say. But
That
instead,
is a
he insulted
husband
your
for you,
husband.
right
Oh,
there.
whatever. Now
Who
here's
is a man who can crush
We
all three
invited
of
you
us with his
here.
hands.
We love you. We love Hunter, obviously. We love your YouTube
Well, we
channel.
love you guys,
we love
too.
everything. It's National Pineapple Day
It
apparently.
is.
Yeah.
It's National Pineapple
What
Day.
are the goddamn
and National
chances?
Sunglasses Day.
I'll never forget. It was about 4 years ago, and I get a text from Alexis. You know, it must have been more than that at this point. I get a text from Alexis, and it says, "Hey, just letting you know, pineapples are about to be in." And I responded, "Fuck you." Like, what? First off, why would you text me that?
Yeah.
Second off,
Yeah.
are you telling me to prepare? Like, should I? And do I
Get
buy
pineapple stock?
Are you talking about pineapple shirts? I got it. And this was before it happened.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing them everywhere.
Yeah.
Walk down the street, pineapple signs.
Yeah.
Go to a store, pineapple shirts.
There's a
Then
whole hotel
all the people-
downtown that's pineapple based.
This was very annoying to
Yeah, pineapple themes. Thank you.
my pineapple based.
We're in San Francisco, but we're based out of pineapple.
The one and only Geneviève Saint-Onge Miller.
Yes.
She was watching House of
Miller.
Cards with me, and
like
I'm
it.
watching House of Cards, and I mean, what's Kevin Spacey
Oval
up to?
Office.
What's going on? And she's like, "Why are there pineapple lamps in the Oval Office?" I'm
I
like,
know.
"Huh, that's a good question."
Right?
They were
Yeah.
super in.
Did you text him that because you know that Tim has a propensity to make music videos out of every new trend? Is that why? Did you think he was going to make the pineapple music video?
I didn't need to. She was just trying to let me know. And the thing is, I'll give it to you because you were the least hip person I have ever met in my entire life. So the fact that you
I'm
were,
actually insulted
Oh,
by
hey,
that.
that's pretty
You're-
And
insulting.
you've
You
seen
are
the
not.
people he
No.
hangs out with.
Yes.
Kevin
they're-
Coelho,
they're
who's
cool
dressing
guys.
like Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Not today, though. You look
I'm
great.
not-
There's
I'm
no
not giving
camera on
credit,
him. Nobody
but
knows what he's dressed as
Who
today. Everybody's
is the
seen
most
it.
hip person you hang out with?
I feel like I know a couple hip people.
Cool Greg slapping.
Cool Greg,
Greg is
is
hip as
I mean,
fuck.
He's
I
hip
would
on the
say
streets.
He's hip. He
He's
is
hip
hip
AF.
on the streets.
He's
I
street
don't,
hip.
I don't know. Louis Medina's pretty hip.
Louis Medina's really
Louis Medina, this dude, he's our like contact at Rooster Teeth. I would say he's the hippest person I know.
He probably is.
He's
Because he
fucking
always
cool.
knows things that I don't know. He knows business lingo,
like
but
his
he's
street
also
cred went
like
down
he
there.
understands
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah.
That's
No,
cool, Greg.
you've seen him. When you have people that are like people can describe pants as Louis Medina pants, or they see glasses, those are Louis Medina glasses, or you see a hat, and you're like, that's a Louis Medina hat, or you see a sweater, you're like, that's a Louis. All of a
So
sudden,
no-
it's like there's an entire
now here's-
outfit. There's a Louis Medina. Look at this
All right,
guy.
yeah, here we go.
Look at those glasses.
Then here's my question for you, Timothy. You stole the Louis Medina pants. You wear them first off when you're not going to be on camera, but more importantly when you fly. Kevin, are you going to show people Louis Medina? Okay, just making sure. But the other day you went to look at glasses and tried on Louis Medina glasses, and then we're like, no, it's too much.
Too much.
Why is that?
It just is. I didn't want glasses. Gia's trying to convince me that I need to buy new glasses.
You do.
Because I've had the same glasses
Yeah,
since
you do.
1996.
Kevin,
They look
click,
like-
click on the
glasses
Louis
anymore.
Medina profile picture at the top there, Kevin, so we get a bigger. Is it just the fact that you get offended that you are you guys are just reskin character models?
I mean, that's one way to put it.
You know what I
That's
mean? He's
definitely
just a darker
complimenting me.
shade
I
of you,
appreciate it.
or you're a lighter shade of him. I can't tell.
That's probably the one.
That's how it is.
Yeah, that's the
Louis
that's
Medina is the real
less
the
racist
real
one.
deal.
I think that the thing is though, Lou wears those pants and they look great during the day, and then he wears them to a party, and you're like, how do they still look good? They still
Louis
look
pulls
good.
it off.
The pants,
Tim
they're
looks like he
they're
rolled
the
out of
ninja
bed.
pants,
No
you know, where
contacts
it's like,
in.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
real pants, but they have elastic at the bottom, but they're
Yeah.
actually made out of like
Hunter wears
a
those a
cotton.
lot.
He does. Hunter does wear
Joggers,
them.
yeah.
And so here's the big thing. We haven't gotten to the intro. We're not even in the first topic
Yeah.
yet. It's going to be a long show. Strap the fuck in. What I want to know is what was going on with Hunter's pants recently? He didn't tuck them in, and it
gosh.
was a giant thing.
Yeah, so the Giants have been losing horribly, like really bad.
Oh,
Like,
by the way, if you're
there's,
watching,
like,
that's
the
her-
worst team, and then there's like the Giants.
Her husband's Hunter Pence. He plays
It's-
for the San Francisco Giants.
It's not good. But yesterday we won, so that's good.
Okay, we're back to turning
So
around.
hopefully we're going to
Rally
turn
caps.
this ship around.
Yeah, we just
you know what I
turned
mean?
the leveling
Yeah,
playing
I've seen a
field.
lot
You
of
nailed that one.
Photoshops
You nailed
and
that
touching
one.
his butt.
Yeah, a lot of photoshops of that.
But he didn't do something.
But he was just trying to change up the juju a little bit, like
Sure.
get the new energy. And so he, for the first time, wore his pants, but like regular pants.
Because he usually has
the
his socks
the high
pulled
up,
up.
like
right?
Usually,
stirrups or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
stirrups.
yeah, yeah.
Because usually wears them that they're like
above
dark
the knee a little bit, yeah. And so it was like a whole thing.
Front page news.
Yeah, even I was like, when you think you know someone, then he wears his pants down, and you're like, what the
Jesus.
hell?
Who are you?
Yeah.
What a monster.
But then he came home that night. He didn't get a hit that game, and he was like, "I'm never doing that again. That was the worst day of my life."
Yeah, are they allowed to play in shorts? Real question. I
You
don't
can play
know.
nude.
Can you?
No. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4 sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, sometimes the lights randomly dim
that
or
was
something.
weird.
What was that?
I don't know.
If we would have done
the table.
no, it was before that.
It
Don't
looked
try
like
to put this on
it
me.
flickered from there to there.
Don't put that on me, Billy Bob.
Cool.
They dimmed?
If you like that, you can head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can watch each and every episode early. In fact, if you want to toss us a buck, you can watch it live, like as we record it, like so many people are right now on patreon.com/kindafunny. But if you don't want any of those exclusive perks, goodies, crazy tiers, or whatever else, or you just don't have the money, no big deal, you can head over to youtube.com/kindafunny. You can see the show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big MP3 and video later on down the line. Are we all reacting to Kevin just
This is my favorite thing
freaking
is,
out and Instagram's going all over the screen?
We have a 65-inch TV screen in front of us,
Yeah.
in addition to a 32-inch screen underneath us.
monitor, yeah.
The 32-inch one's just us; we can see us.
Yeah.
The 65-inch is being used just as a stopwatch, so we
Yeah.
know how long we're going.
Right.
But every once in a while, Kevin will start doing things on the internet, and just fucking windows will pop up, and it's the most distracting thing.
I like to think of it as a little window into Kevin's mind. You know, you just see what's always going in there, which is half open windows on the wrong monitor. Like you don't know. Kevin's mind to me is like when you open up a website, like a web browser, and it goes to the other monitor, then you pull your computer out and you can't resize it. You can't figure out how to resize it. It's just always there. That's Kevin's brain.
I like to
is.
think that
It's true.
Kevin is like our Ra's al Ghul, and he's keeping us on our toes. You know what I mean? He's got us here. It's working.
immortal?
But here's a few different
live forever?
things he's tossing at you. You want to see if you can actually deal with it.
Oh,
he
you
knows
wanna
I'm
see if
he
we'll
knows I'm
take over
delivering
for him?
to the camera. One of the few times I'm talking straight to the show. So why not fuck around? Why not throw up some fucking giant dicks and shit on the screen? It doesn't matter.
Because our internet fucking just shit the bed.
Ra's
I'm
al
trying
Ghul.
to figure that out.
Ra's al Ghul.
So,
Raish,
I was
Al Ghul.
complimenting you.
oh, I thought you were calling me out right now.
No, well, they were. I don't think you heard them, but then I brought it around to where I was bringing it down that you're doing the right thing.
Hostility makes me uncomfortable. You
Oh, you don't. You want to survive a day? Kind of funny then. Yeah.
No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
I'm really sweaty too.
You'll be fine.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah. Alexis, you're gonna start us off. What's your topic?
Okay, so I had 2 questions. One was a joke one.
Sure.
We talked about it a little, but I'm not gonna talk about that
Throw
one.
it out. Well,
one
to
of them-
see your real topic, I think we might have talked about not recently, but go ahead. What's your real topic?
my real topic is what is inspiring you right now?
Now we talked about inspirations before, but we haven't done it with Alexis, and we haven't
but
done it
like
recently.
sometimes
It
like you go
changes.
through waves, like right, like pineapples. Even though some
Jesus
people don't
God,
think
that's
I'm
inspiring you?
That used to inspire me because I don't know, they inspire me. Like fairies sometimes, to
Okay.
like kids inspire them, but like
Sure.
also rainbows right now. Organizing is really inspiring me right now. Certain things like
Your
that, like
definition of
stand-up comedy,
inspiring is very different
Sure.
than
or
mine.
and travel.
Okay.
Like travel's really inspiring me. Like going somewhere and like really unplugging and discovering new stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you guys, like, what is inspiring you right now? And it's not something that can be doesn't have to be permanent. Just like, what do you see? You're like, oh man, like I really love that. I'd like to like more of it in my
Sure,
life.
sure.
And what's drawing me to it?
Well, I want to know more about you though.
Yeah.
Unicorns, or is that just that was
Rainbows?
something? Rainbows?
No, rainbows. Yeah.
That's inspiring you. Tell me about this.
I don't know. Something about the colors right now are really just like they give me energy. I don't know. They give me energy. They're giving me they're giving me
Well, you
life.
mean like real life rainbows? Like it just rained? It's like, oh, double,
no,
double
it could be like
rainbow?
anything.
Or
like pool floaties too. Like I'm really loving
Just
pool
things that have
floaties
a
right
lot of
now.
colors.
Pool floaties are in.
Yeah.
So like this
See,
last
you
weekend.
should have texted me like 3 months ago and let me know, and I would have gotten on it about the pool floaty. You see that
Oh.
Nicki Minaj video with the big unicorn thing that she rode?
Oh no, I haven't
showed
seen
you
that
this.
video.
You sure did.
Yeah.
And everything Nicki
Like I
Minaj
just got
does is A-okay
a
in my
rainbow
book, Greg.
pool floaty.
Yeah.
Like I'm really loving that. Like I'm
Right.
really loving that what that kind of represents. I guess it's not so
Were
much.
you just like in love this last weekend because it was Pride Fest and it was rainbows
no, I
everywhere?
actually
lot
didn't
of
even go
rainbows.
out at all this
Really?
weekend. Yeah, because I was like, it's Pride Fest. I'm
I
gonna
haven't-
take cover.
I have yet to go to actually see the Pride Parade.
It starts
I know I'm the
Oh, it's
worst.
great.
right
You gotta
by my
go. It's
house.
awesome.
Shenanigans.
So I
I know.
literally
Awesome.
saw
The
how the
worst.
sausage was made.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good.
Randomly,
lot
I've
of
been to the
sausage.
There's a
Folsom
lot of
Street Fair
sausage.
twice though.
That's a different kind of
I don't
thing.
know
How do you end up
Folsom
there?
Street, but very different.
Very different.
Very
Very
I've
different.
been to that twice, but I have yet to go to the Pride Parade
Good
once.
for you, Nick. Good for you.
So do you? That's what's inspiring to
What
me.
inspiration are
Leather.
you drawing from the rainbows and the colors?
Man, I think it's just like the bright, like what it kind of represents, which
Okay.
is like, like a lot of like brightness, and so it gets you going, gives you energy, making you feel good, and when I feel good, like I can make you guys feel good. I can make Tim feel like I can spread that, right?
Sure.
Like
Okay.
you can give that to people. So like a rainbow right there.
There it is.
Oh yeah, on the YouTube page.
Oh,
But then I also think they're like little symbols, right? Like I have no resistance to rainbows right now. So then it's like, I sort of feel like this might get a little new agey, but
No, I like it though.
This got
is-
new
we-
agey about 5 minutes ago.
I like the
We're
perspective.
knee deep in new age.
where
All
you
I
know,
ever
if
hear about is he
you're-
eats kale.
if you're kind of lost and you're looking for like a pathway, and it's like, oh well, there's a rainbow. Like it kind of just leads you there. I
Okay.
feel like.
start
Okay.
seeing them everywhere. Like
Yeah,
signs?
yeah, and it's almost like taking the path of least resistance. Did I say that right?
No, you
Yes.
did, you nailed it. Yeah.
Okay, good. But yeah, it kind of leads you there. So right now, like rainbows and like organizing my life, my home right now is
By
like
color.
really. All my books are by
Roy?
color.
G-Biz.
They're like color coordinated. My
Okay,
books.
okay.
So yeah, I've done that and making sure like my house is clean and organized.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because I feel like it kind of clears up the mind.
Yeah.
What else? Travel, like.
So what do
figuring out-
you find inspiring about travel?
I think it's discovering new places, new
Okay.
cultures. You're getting away from your everyday normal life. Like I just read a story about a guy who every 7 years takes 1 year off to unplug, and he comes back with a new idea, and then does that idea and becomes crazy successful. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. Like that travel can do
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like unplugging,
Do you not
discovering
find it-
adventure. Like
Are you not finding you're like burning out because you travel a lot?
I travel a lot, but I think there's a difference. There's a difference between traveling to a place that like you really want to go to
Yeah.
and just getting the time to like discover the culture and food and all that
Sure.
stuff versus like going to, you know,
Atlanta.
New York for
Kansas
the
City.
fifth time.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like those are all great cities and I love going, but you know, it just kind of turns into a routine.
Where's the last place you went to that was the inspirational kind of place?
That was an inspirational kind of place.
Yeah. That like you went and you discovered and found new things and new stuff.
Probably Mexico.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, when we went last off season, Hunter and I went and we met with like a shaman and we did like a whole like energy read and it was so cool and we did like a sweat lodge and it
Oh,
was
that's
like
awesome.
Do you
yeah.
want? Do you want to do ayahuasca with me one day?
I would totally do ayahuasca with you.
Is that like
Ayahuasca.
peyote?
so there's a guy
it's
in
close similar
Berkeley
to
that,
that, yeah.
does it and
Yeah.
you go to his yurt in Berkeley
Oh,
and you
fuck
take
yeah, of
it and
course
you
he's
go
got a
for a
yurt.
day and you smoke like a peace pipe and then you
Sure you
take
do.
like a
And you
something
drink
It's a
that
and
Bart
then,
tea
Simpson
and then you
peace
go
pipe.
after it, yeah.
yeah,
I'm
and then
in,
you
let's
go
do
and
it.
you like have all these self discoveries. So it's
Ayahuasca is supposed to be the drug where if you do it, you're supposed to be able to have like a candid conversation with yourself and then tell you all the things that's wrong with you and then you come out fixed.
That
and
sounds
I love this
horrible to
It
me.
sounds awesome.
The last person I want to hear telling me all my problems
Is
is
yourself.
me.
But that's the only person who can solve them.
Look, dude.
probably you need it the most then too.
Yeah.
This is going to be
My
bad.
opinion, not a big deal, but you're fucking up.
Yeah.
You're doing
I don't
everything
like
wrong.
it. I don't like
Wait,
it at all.
what? Hella.
Wait,
A lot of hella. There would be a lot of hella.
For me, like right now, I guess I like your more abstract thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm inspired a lot right now by San Francisco. I think, you know, I just moved
The
or
city?
whatever. Yeah.
Me too.
Like I just moved, right? So I'm in, you know, a part of the city I've always wanted to live in before, and now I'm there. And the small businesses that line my street, and like starting those new relationships where I'm like seeing the same owners every day and talking to them and
Yes.
helping them out with something, or going to an event they're throwing. And then like last night Jen and I were watching this documentary that'll come up on my topic, The Lost Arcade, or The Last Arcade. No, The Lost Arcade. Which is produced by IGN somehow, which was weird to see that in the credits of a movie that I was just randomly watching. I
You
was
just
like,
text me a picture. It just says
Executive producers.
Per Schneider and Fran Mirabella.
no, it said
III.
Francis Mirabella III.
Yeah, I saw it,
I was
dude.
like, hell yeah, it
His
does.
stage name.
But that was about
It's my
you know, this last arcade in New York, Chinatown or whatever, and then got me thinking of like how inspired I am by the comic shop underneath us, because how much I
Yeah.
love fucking comics, but like what a hard business to run of trying to keep a comic shop going in 2017.
Don't
which
tell
then
me
got-
that because we're about to open one.
Well, you're doing like a coffee shop
Comics
and board game
gaming,
stuff, right? Yeah.
Tabletops and video games and new media.
I think
Yeah.
you're diversified a bit
Yeah,
more than
we're
comic
real
experience
diverse.
outpost underneath
Coffee's the
us.
number one there. I think you guys
Yeah.
are do great. Also,
Yeah.
Hunter's a huge coffee guy, so like I'm
Yeah.
sure the coffee will be amazing.
And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It's
Where's
in
that
Houston,
happening,
right?
By the way?
Houston.
Yeah, I can't. I want to come visit.
Yeah, you guys
Weddings
should totally
involved,
come.
right?
What's it gonna be called?
Coral Sword.
Yeah, it's
Stamp it
you, Hunter, and Ming.
Me, Hunter, Ming, and our good friends David, who has a coffee roaster company.
I can't wait.
Was that a hard decision, or was that just like, hey,
No.
let's just go do something?
No, I'm actually pretty sure Hunter made the decision. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're opening up a coffee shop. I was like, wait, what?
So you know,
Yeah,
that's what
I was
we're
like, all
doing.
right.
The thing is, though, with Hunter, knowing Hunter, it sounds like it was spur of the moment, but you know he's been doing research on coffee like his entire life.
That's their
Yeah.
that's their YouTube channel, right? Of you guys
Yeah.
running around
So
reviewing all these
into it.
different
We've
coffees.
gotten like crazy geeky about it. Like I just got a water tester so I can test the parts per million in the water to see like what it grabs onto in the coffee. Who'd have thought all those coffee trips
I know, they would
would have
pay it
led?
off.
I
Here
knew
you
I
go,
liked it. I knew
career.
there was something about it
Lex,
that
we
I
went to
loved.
Starbucks every single time, though.
No, we went
No,
to.
we go to a whole bunch of places.
Yeah.
Every time
all
you and I
over.
used
You
to walk
weren't
away from
invited.
IGN for like 4 hours, we just go to Starbucks. And it's like, we're just going
That's
to
for
kill the
different
rest,
reasons.
the rest of this week. It'll be hilarious.
But yeah, people who are like living their dream right now, right? And whether that's the guy in my street who's running the t-shirt business, or it's,
Yeah.
the guys doing the comic shop, especially because as we run this business and how fucking complicated this is on us. And then to see like Wings up for sale, right? Like to see not people, they didn't fail, but like people, I got to get out of this business, to see people hanging in there and doing stuff and knowing what it's like for us, let alone if you don't have a million Twitter followers or whatever to activate and try to drive to an event or drive to something. Like I can't
Right.
imagine. Yeah.
Right.
Nick, what about you, Mr. Comedian?
I've been really motivated lately by a number of things, a number of humans, as well as just the concept of momentum and what it takes to build momentum and then keep momentum, which I think is a very I think it's the hardest thing to do in people's like professional and personal lives. Which
Being
is just,
consistent.
well, start that ball rolling and then build on top of that. And I've been really, since the beginning of the year, kind of like really paying attention toward that in my life and allowing other people who are doing it to inspire me to do so. Prior to us starting this business, I would always see people who are successful, who I can tell, like the Kevin Harts of the world or the Rocks of the world, and be like, these guys started from someplace and then just never stopped and like never let setbacks hold them back. And I would look at those guys and be like, shit, I can never do that, because they're so, like, you compare yourself to them and think, oh, they're so far away from where I'm at right now.
Right.
But then you start slowly but surely thinking, like, you know what? All success on that level is just like time and motivation. And if I have both of those things. I'm not that old yet, so I can start doing stuff now, and we can start building this business now, and then in 10 years we'll look back and it'll go by like that and be like, holy shit, look at what we've done. And I think Kind of Funny has really inspired me to do that, and then it's inspired me to really open my eyes and welcome in those outside influences, right? Like you mentioned travel, for instance. I listen to a ton of comedians now, like Ari Shaffir. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but
No.
he has a popular show, and after the last season ended, he literally just got on a plane and left.
Yeah.
And no one knows where he was. He would send letters
That's
to people.
amazing.
And like people would just get letters saying, "Hey, I'm still alive. Don't worry about it." And that was it. Like
And
he went.
now he's Batman.
That was it. And now he came back and he can tell a story, but he just wanted to just really check out and stuff like that. But so guys like that, that's super cool. But he can and just letting people know it's okay to like come back to your life, and you can get that momentum again and keep building that steam again. And I'm also super inspired by the concept of conflict, like the idea that in order to be happy, you have to have a little bit of challenge and conflict in your life. You can't, like, I used to think I'm happiest when everything's in its place and I can just relax and like not worry about that. But what I found is that's when sort of anxiety and depression started setting in. I feel like I get better as I keep finding that next obstacle to overcome now. And so
Oh.
that's kind of where I'm at. So like starting to do jiu-jitsu,
Interesting.
doing stand-up, things like that. Like obviously this business is an infinite amount of challenges that we don't even know what's going to happen every morning. We'll come in and something new and fun is there for us.
Let me ask you, that's a great thing that you just said. So having that constant obstacle. So once you have achieved everything, right? Like sometimes I ask Hunter, I'm like, you have 2 World Series. You've been in the All-Star game 3 times. Like, where do you keep finding the passion for the game?
Right.
Like, what do you hold on to, right? Like what keeps you, I guess, like magnetized towards like keep going,
Right.
Like what is that? Like how do you find something new to keep going?
Mhm.
So how do you find your
Well, what does he
obstacle?
say?
Oh.
Oh, what
Yeah, I
is
was
it?
like,
Wait, I want to know Hunter. I want to know Hunter too.
Oh. Well, for Hunter, like he has like different goals that he comes up with. You know,
Yeah.
like being an MVP would be really huge for him.
Right.
Winning another World Series,
Sure.
like that's always a drive for him.
Yeah, for me, I think that there are long-term huge goals that we all have for ourselves, but those can get very like the weight, you can crumble under the weight of those sometimes. I think for me right now, I'm looking at goals that I can achieve in the like 2 to 6 month range, right? So I'm just sort of like realizing that there's pretty much levels to everything. And one of the actually big reasons for this is what I've been like, what I've seen happen in jiu-jitsu, which is like you go in and you realize that you are just starting at fucking ground zero, and then you grind and you grind and you grind and you look back. Like I think I'm about almost 8 months in, and now I'm looking back and the new white belts come in, and one of the kids the other day was like, I wish I could roll like you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was like, you're just always so calm and collective, and then all of a sudden you'll get a submission or something like that. Cool. And I'm like, in my brain, I am freaking the fuck out all the time, but this kid sees me like differently, and that must be how I kind of am, right? Like so to him, I'm dangerous, but to me, everyone else is dangerous. And like,
did you tell the kid the truth, or you're just like,
oh no, I told him the truth.
yeah, fuck cigarette at him, got on your motorbike and rode away.
Well, for sure, the one thing people love doing in jiu-jitsu class is having a nice cigarette right afterward, right? You just have a cup of coffee, cigarette, and not protein. No, I told him, I was like, no, to me, I'm always like, I'm always tripping out. I'm always freaked out, and this is really hard for me, like still. But so that's given me sort of a template to apply to everything else. Like, so comedy, I'm looking at this going, okay, so if 8 months gets me here in this aspect of my life, if I just put the same amount of time into comedy, I can start to see those small gains. And like, for me, like this is the first time I've been actually invited to be on a show tonight as a comedian, not as a new media personality or as kind of funny. Just these guys don't know who I am. They don't know what I do. They're just like, you were pretty funny the other week. You should come up to the show. And I'm like, okay, cool. So the next shot for me then after this is I've started to go. There are some showcases that the Punchline throws, and so you can go there as a new comedian and you just go and like experience that, and maybe you get picked to go up. And so that's my next goal, is to go up to the Punchline. That's it. Simple goal. Just get picked to go up, not kill, not crush. Just have the balls to walk on stage at one of the most historic comedy clubs on the planet, and just stare at people's faces and try to make them laugh. And that terrifies me, but it also gives me that like little hit of adrenaline of like, yeah, we could do this. We can go. And that's the other thing I've been doing a little bit recently, is practicing that sort of like put it out there first and then figure out how the fuck to get there. And so if you guys remember in January, I was like, I'm going to do a stand-up act at Kind of Funny Live 3. And Tim's like, that's a great idea. And then that's it. It's a thing now. And so I had to figure out how to fucking do that.
Right.
And every day I didn't go to an open mic to practice. I was like, you're fucking up. You're not going to be good. So you have to go. That's what happens. So I don't know. That's
were good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were really good.
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
You guys are going to see the exact same set tonight. So
That's practice,
enjoy it.
You gotta get it down.
But it's fun. It's fun when you start looking at like, you stop looking at life in terms of like failures and success, and start looking in terms of just like experiences and like what you can glean from that and how you can make yourself better. Like just going out and doing things. Like I've had a big push this week to like do more stuff on social, because it finally clicked to me how I framed it in my brain of like, wait a minute, I'm not really sharing I don't need to share my life on social and compare myself to everyone and like try to be interesting when I'm not. I can just goof off. I can just try to entertain people on social, same I do here, same I do on stage, right? Mm-hmm. So that little shift in my brain's like, oh, it makes it okay for me to post 18 times a day and annoy the shit out of people. Like, I don't know.
There are no failures, just experiences.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah. Well, that's what that Uber driver told me when he changed.
Yeah. Uber drivers. Yeah. I have 3 very specific people that are inspiring me right now, and some of it's a little bit like corny and shit.
Crash Bandicoot.
No. My first answer is Steven Suptic, who
he went up that guy. He all over that guy.
And I mean, so this dude, for those that don't know, started at, I don't know exactly where he started, but I first knew of him from Super Panic Frenzy, which was a video game offshoot of SourceFed and the DeFranco Network and all that stuff. And he did stuff with Raina Scully. And they kept going, and I never really paid attention to him at all. Then he became a host at SourceFed when they went kaput. So that was during an era that I didn't watch at all.
Sure.
And after that, they were all kind of left with nothing, and he started doing his own YouTube channel. He'd been doing his own YouTube channel for years, but it was a lot of like reacts content of like the try not to laugh challenge, or like, it was very like YouTube copy and paste.
Sure.
Like what
this is what's popular
else
now, so I'm gonna jump in there and do it.
Whatever the trend of the moment is, I'm gonna do it. And like, he got a lot of views, people really loved him. But then at some point about 6 months ago, he just started doing what he calls alternative lifestyle content. And I'm sure so many of you already know about this, so I'm just beating a dead horse. But I watched it and I was like, I don't get it. And then within 5 minutes, I'm like, this guy's doing something fucking different.
Yeah, he's genius.
We're 15 years into YouTube at this point, maybe 13 years into YouTube. And constantly you feel like, oh, everyone's done things before. Like there's nothing new you can do. And I'm watching his vlogs and I'm like, these are not vlogs. Like this guy is doing something so different with the medium that day after day, he puts out a video every day that is edited and is telling a crazy story, and it builds on this world, and he has a cast of characters that are funny as hell, and it's just like you don't need to watch every day. You can jump in at any point, and like I've seen Kevin watching a whole bunch of them, and like what are your thoughts on him?
I'm in love, man. Like, god damn,
Love him so
they're
much.
really good. Like, I can't stop watching them.
I
And,
was
yeah.
floored at how good he was, because it was that there was the IGN kerfluffle. I heard about it on our Reddit, our subreddit. People were like, "I don't know what Greg and the guys think of it," and I was like, "I don't know what the hell any of this is. I've been working all day. I didn't
love
see any.
kerfuffles.
I didn't see any of the
I like that
E3
you put
content."
an L in the kerfuffle to make it
Kerfluffle?
kerfluffle.
Just letting you know. Hey, you know what? If I can change, fuck, what was the word I always used? Rigmarole. I
Yep.
can change kerfluffle. The
You
kerfluffle.
sure shit
It's
can.
true.
It's your
And
world.
it wasn't until the next morning that I got here that I could actually watch any of the video, or actually had time, or did the desire, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was totally that thing of like, all right, whatever. And I clicked in and watched it. It was his response to the whole IGN thing. And I watched it and I was like, as all my friends working at IGN, I'm like, oh, I'm already primed to be mad about whatever's going to be said. And I watched, I'm like, this is genius.
Yeah.
This is the funniest fucking shit of all time. When they call the one guy, he's like, stop copying us. He slams down the phone. He's like, he said I called Chad or whatever. And he said, it's not Chad, it's Rad or whatever the fuck his name is. He's like, who's this other guy who was copying? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
And I went down the hole of like watching all the other videos of like driving up and picking his friends up. And it was, Jesus,
Yeah,
it's so good.
so Alexis, I
Yeah.
imagine you've never seen this guy.
No, I've never seen this guy.
To give you the pitch on him, essentially every day he does a vlog about what he's doing in his
Which
day.
everyday vlogging, you guys, that is like, I'm already impressed by this guy.
No, but it's like he vlogs it, but it's highly edited. Like these are
Yeah.
things where I'm like, this could look like if it was long enough, it could be on TV.
It looks like a
TV
documentary
show.
or a mockumentary
Yeah,
or whatever.
Oh, wow.
exactly. And so he does it, and it's him and this cast of friends, and they just kind of like go about their business, and they come up with these stupid ass storylines that are like based on the truth. Like they're looking for a new office now, so they'll go in and actually be doing interviews and like checking out office space, but they're playing characters, and as they're shooting it, it'll like pause and like the camera will zoom in, and it's just VO narration. He's like, and this is the moment that it all started to go wrong.
That's awesome.
And it's so funny because it's like I just don't understand. I mean, it's a mix of improv and like light scenarios that are written
it's kind of
going
got,
into
it's
it.
got an Arrested Development feel to it. But if it's kind of like Arrested Development if only the main actors knew they were in Arrested Development and everyone else was real people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so they do a lot of weird, crazy shit where like they'll just randomly, like he used Lou Medina the other day. He just called him, and I don't even know if Lou knew he was in the show, but they're having a real business call. This guy's like,
Yeah.
and then now Lou's a character on the show, whether Lou knows it or not.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No,
Um,
it's
so got
great.
that-
And
it's got that feel.
That is the thing
thing-
worth pointing out for full disclosure that they just joined Let's Play. So they're Let's Play family.
Oh, yeah,
or something.
no, I don't know
Not that this
exactly-
is, I know this isn't at all connected, just for any detractors out there to be on the same page.
Yeah, but anyway, like this dude's fucking awesome.
Fucking
And to be
detractors.
clear, I don't even understand like where they fall in the whole Let's Play. They don't do video game stuff now.
I'm pretty sure they are owned by Bernie now.
No, that's definitely not.
Where did he start?
That's not how it is.
Greg Brett doesn't just own everything.
He owns
You can't just
people,
say,
though.
That's true. He does own me.
But my thing is, I tend to not like content that is people fucking with other people.
Sure.
That don't know they're being fucked with or don't want to be fucked with. And that's why with Jackass, I always liked the things where it was just more contained of what they were
Right.
doing. I didn't really like the whole "you just got pranked" type
It's
bullshit.
kind of bullying, yeah.
Yeah, like punked I'm okay
Punked
with
you're okay
because
with?
it's a little bit different.
I wasn't cool. Man, they punked Justin Timberlake.
JT?
I didn't fucking like that.
But I feel like that's different because
Sorry.
that's a targeted thing.
Fucked
I
up.
like
Of
that
specific
that's where you
people.
draw the line at Justin
Can't fuck with
Timberlake.
Justin
Frankie
Timberlake.
Muniz can suck it, but Justin Timberlake, I'm like, don't fuck with JT, guys.
Frankie Muniz knew he was on he knew he could see the sand in his hourglass going out. He's okay to fuck with. Justin Timberlake, immortal. He'll be fine the rest of his life. You want to take a shot at Frankie?
Yeah,
huh?
man. Let him just enjoy his life, man. JT.
My thing is though, this content definitely skirts the line of that, but I think that the artistry that goes into the stories that he tells
Sure.
makes it totally worth it because every day there's something new, and I just think that like I am inspired by the fact that there's still something new out there for content creators to be able to do,
Yeah,
and it
it's
inspires
cool.
me to think differently about content that we're doing because I'm like, fuck, like we are a lot of the time just doing what we know, and it's
Yeah.
like we could be doing something that we do.
So original thought really inspires you.
Yeah, and so
Well, it's not
from
even
him,
that. It's like what I admire about you is you have that ability to look at like it's similar to what this guy's doing is look at something and go, we could do that, but we should do that like this. And it takes the old format and like you put one element into it that then makes it feel new, right? And that is kind of the key to innovation, right? Like we talk a little bit about like what can we do that's different out there? What can we do that's like kind of first that no one's ever seen? And that's really what you're talking about is like how can we do like a podcast and make it something that no one's ever seen, but it's still a podcast. Granted,
Put it underwater.
we haven't figured that one
I was
out
going to
yet.
say we haven't nailed
no,
any of
nailed
that.
that one yet.
Put us
So
underwater.
keep going on that, and I'm adding a fourth group now to people that inspire me is the McElroy brothers with my brother and me.
They're so good. They're so
show that they did that is like a TV show version of their podcast. I'm like, that is next level podcast.
Those guys are awesome.
I was blown away watching that content. I'm like, holy shit. It's like they did something so fresh and so original.
Yeah.
But getting back to what I was saying, the last two, and this is where it gets corny, it's the two of you in different ways.
Interesting.
Legitimately, you doing the stand-up comedy thing blows my mind. Because I'm just like, I know that you're capable of it, and I know that you're funny, but the fact that you kind of, without really having a conversation with us, and like it wasn't like some big plan of, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go. You just started going to open mics.
Yeah.
And then
you didn't even tell about us.
Yeah, and then eventually you're like, oh yeah, I've been doing these open mics, like as if it's no big deal. It's like that is kind of the biggest deal.
Well,
ever.
it's big and it's not. The thing that I'm trying to do is do things that kind of benefit like cyclically. Right. So like what we do here is there's a level of performance, and I think that I wanted to get better at it. Right. Especially since, when Colin left, it was like I felt a need to like have to step it up.
No longer half-assing it.
Right. Exactly. Before it was a quarter ass. Now I'm up to half ass.
Hey, I'm Nick. Here's something creepy.
use your
All
full
right,
ass,
see you
Nick.
guys. Cut me a check.
But to me it's I don't necessarily see myself as someone who's going to be a stand-up comedian, but the ability to think, hey, I could go out there and practice performance and bring that back here and try to and then get in that that mindset of like constantly writing stupid things and doing stupid stuff that could benefit us, but then that can go benefit me on stage and then get me back here. I think that's just kind of that was very inspirational.
I mean, I've seen it though. Like I've seen it in your content, especially in the morning show. It's like you're bringing it in a different way.
Thank you.
Like you were like actually playing a character now, whereas before you would literally just show up.
Greg also gave me some really good feedback. He's like, it's not cool to just look at pictures of Selena Gomez the entire morning show and not pay attention to what's happening. So
You get it. You get the first
Would
5
happen
minutes
a
of the
lot.
morning show. Nick would be there. He's all in, and then he'd talk about a movie, which would make him think of another movie, and then he'd wonder what that actress looks like in this movie.
He's been up to IMDb. Next thing you know, he's on Instagram. It's like, what is happening? But
Yeah.
no, you've been on
That's fair.
it recently, and I think
Thank
that
you.
it is because of what you're saying, where
Yeah.
you are inspiring yourself based on your stand-up act. But going back to it, the fact that you're doing it, the fact that you did the therapist stuff blew my mind. The fact that you're doing the jiu-jitsu blew my mind. But this comedy stuff, like this, a door has opened where I'm like, we are literally capable of anything.
We are.
Because
We are.
like, holy shit, like you did the thing.
Again, it's one of those things where you look and I follow obviously a lot of comedians. I look up to Joe Rogan. I look up to that whole network of guys that he's got going, right? And those guys will all tell you the same thing. It really is just, you got to put the work in. You got to just go up as many times as you can and keep going.
Yeah.
And like that's just sort of symbolic of what we do here every day, right? We just keep building. We just keep trying to do the best.
You don't
content we
like it?
possibly
Fuck
can.
you. We'll be back tomorrow with more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of counterintuitive to the positive
Now,
message.
jumping back to the last one.
Fuck you if you don't like it, you piece of
no,
shit.
it's not-
The last
that's not-
person is Greg, because it's just like, it's so, I mean, we've been through so much shit, but to see Kind of Funny Games Daily now, like I am so proud of that show, because it's like, I've worked with you for a decade now coming up on, and it's just like seeing you go from the editor guy to being the on-camera guy to hosting Up at Noon and doing interviews, and obviously you had Beyond and stuff, and then you having PS I Love You, and I used to give you so much shit about PS I Love You because all the shows that we would do, we just fucking show up and we do, and it doesn't matter if everyone's fucking around. You took PS I Love You so seriously, where it's like, we need to close the doors, there could be no outside noise, and it was just like, whoa, this is fucking weird. And it's like, I feel like now with Games Daily, I totally get it. Like it's a thing where like you are bringing, you even just wearing the tie and, prepping the shows and making sure that all the guests are prepped and know what they're talking about. And it isn't just us showing up and talking.
You
It's
guys are
us
good at
showing
taking care of
up
it.
and being experts
Sure.
and like presenting information to people. And
Well,
it's just
I
like,
have all the feelies. I don't know about you guys.
No, I mean, you and Andrew have both flocked that message. You know what I mean? I'm sure Danny will too when he actually fucking shows up for work. But yeah, in terms of, you get so much
Man is
credit
on
on the Reddit
vacation.
as,
awesome.
as needed,
Thank
as
you.
deserved, because
Appreciate
you
it
are,
a lot.
it's different to be on a show that has a different vibe than our other shows. So to show up and we have a run of show and we know what the news are and you can brief yourself and get the stats you need to talk about. Andrew is great at adding stuff and getting her own information and bringing it in.
yeah, it's awesome. But going back to the question of what inspires me about you is the fact that I know how much shit we've had to do forever. I know how much more shit we've had to do recently, but I know on top of that, the amount of work you put into that show to make sure that it's good just motivates me to like bring everything up another level. And then when we talk about all of our other shows and party mode and having Kevin figure out how to do the shit live and get everything ad free, it's just like our workflow is so much more complicated than it used to be, but it's working better than it ever has.
Sure.
And I think it's because we're motivating each other and inspiring each other to do better. So it's like, I think it's a very appropriate time to ask me that question because I have been thinking about this a lot.
Good job.
Good topic.
Good job. Good topic. Good
Well
topic.
done.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Game Over Greggy Show. Click here to subscribe. Go support us on Patreon down there. Check out other episodes up here. And then go over to Kind of Funny Games because we got a whole bunch of cool stuff there like party mode. But don't forget about the Patreon stuff. You can watch us record the show live.